10:01 precisely, right from the studios of Mela 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Good morning to everyone. Good morning to you, wherever you are listening and locked on to the sound of Lagos right here, the second day in the month of October 2025. Let me quickly do a disclaimer because I'm definitely sure that a lot of persons, especially Creative Naija fans, will be wondering, okay, whose voice are we listening to at the moment? Okay, so basically, I'm standing in for one and only phenomenal presenter, which is Bumibade Adeniji, our anchor on Creative Naija, which you always hear a voice every Thursday morning, just unavoidably, and your listening pleasure, the information that would definitely benefit, speaking about tourism, speaking about culture, speaking about technology, festivals, travels, hospitality, music, movies, even brown water, economy, insurance, and everything, even sports tourism. We'll bring them right here, as the name implies, Creative Naija. How much as we can day in the month of October's edition right here on Mela 98.3 FM. My name even more today and this morning that has tourism, culture, and art at every point in time. Good morning, Frank Minke. Good to have you this morning.
Well, it's always good to. I think they're hearing your voice on this bit, so I've succeeded. So they have to get you out of where you're hiding. So Bumi will join us, hopefully. We pray she'll join us, but I know you're going to do a good job because you've been part of us, but always hiding. So I'm sure Ibrahim is also.
No, not hiding, behind the scene.
Behind the scene. Behind the scene, not behind it.
Anyways,
good morning, our listeners.
Thank you very much, Frank. All right, World Tourism Day on Saturday. Where were you? September 27th. That was World Tourism Day. And Nigeria Association of Tour Operators, Lagos State Government, and Federation of Tourism Associations of Nigeria, TFAN, South West Region, joined hands to showcase the coastal tourism community of Takwa Bay in Lagos. Gbenga Dauda Shomonu is vice president. He is with us, and also next week to share insight on the troubling. Yes, next week, rather. I beg your pardon. He'll be joining us next week. Will be our guest on Villa Square next week to share insights on the troubling setbacks for the cultural tourism trade, despite the glowing lip service paid to its development. Though the Lagos show went well. What Awoyinka was, glaring and discussed in, hushed tones. Why this, Lagos Tourism Commissioner abandoned the show she glowingly assured of being a trailblazer. And this week, Ibrahim Makonjola, yes, on our Villa Square this morning, shares inspiration about the ever tourism trade, specifically targeting tour companies and operators. He will speak with us immediately about this outing, and we also bring Nigeria's soups and swallow. I definitely want to believe you will like that as well. A focal interest about Nigeria's rich culinary offerings that can help heal the body and attract attention to our fan call on that beat this morning. And also movies and radio with Julie Moss, as always, returns with nuggets on the movie world, and Emmanuel Labode will be taking us through the world of the giants being, that's the elephant, a poetic expression in Yoruba. Yesterday was Nigeria's 65th independence anniversary, and we present MC Amebo to Thrillers with Independence Comedy. And so don't forget that Anchor Insurance is your best choice when it comes to insurance matters. And in addition, our new segment, supported by Symptom Ventures Limited, is a must-listen segment which you don't want to miss. So happy new month and independence anniversary to all. Steve Naija this beautiful morning. Good morning once again. We'll be back in a bit.
Welcome to economy through our diverse cultures, festivals, culinary offerings, dance, fashion, sculpture, and indigenous Afro music. And wait for this, NCAC produced telling our history and traditions. INAC, our International Arts and Crafts Expo, Instagram and X at NCAC_Nigeria, or visit us at Nigeria Culture House, 103 Abdulmumini Gadu District, Abuja. NCAC, proudly Nigeria.
Very much still Creative Niger on mainland 98.3 FM. And just to quickly, let's kickstart the conversation this morning. We actually have loads of programs like I mentioned earlier, which you will definitely enjoy as always. And with us this morning, we have the convener, Tour Operators International Conference and Expo, in person of Mr. Ibrahim Makonjola. Before I engage him, we also have in the studio with us the project manager of the tour. Yeah, our listeners want to hear your sweet and phenomenal voice. Good morning. Good to have you in the studio with us.
Good morning.
Ibrahim, you spoke about it just
conference we're doing for majorly tour operators. Now, it's not just that tour operators are the ones. And the idea was to also help educate, network, and bring tour operators together to discuss about tour operation. I'm a tour operator myself, and I could remember when I started, I don't have this kind of help that this particular conference will be rendering to younger people or younger generation, and also for we in the business on how to get things done better.
All right. I'm sure that, especially people like us want to know a bit more about this and even about tour guiding and all of that. Now, so much.
Yes, I'm a bona fide NATOP member.
And is NATOP partnering with you on this expo?
Yes, NATOP has endorsed this particular conference.
Okay. And so, speaking about this conference, who are we expecting? Are you bringing on board, and where is it taking place?
Okay, so I'll start with where it's taking place. Okay. It's happening in Ikeja, Necker House in Ikeja, and it's happening on the 25th of November 20. But we still have other key stakeholders in the tourism industry that are welcome to come on board. We have the likes of travel writers, travel vloggers, solo travelers, other key stakeholders in the tourism industry. They are free to come, but why we are doing this is basically to educate and assist tour operators that are just coming up, and even the ones in the business on how to do this business more better in order for you to in this business.
Right.
And I wish there's a conference like this that is dedicated to tour operators, that when we go there we can discuss and pour out our hearts to discuss that this business, this is what I'm facing, and we have leaders and
right. Okay.
It would be good to add to that, right? We have a lot of fantastic conferences and symposiums around tourism in Nigeria, but unfortunately we've not had any that is dedicated solely to tour operators.
Right.
So there's the objective behind the conference is to create a bridge, right, where those that are coming up, those that are there, let's find a bridge. It's sustainability, transforming African tourism through strategic partnerships. So we're very intentional about getting strategic partnerships to make the business a lot more enticing and adding just Nigeria.
Right.
We have partnerships
Across,
across a couple of other
African countries
that we have already confirmed.
Go handily doing this. I mean, the support in the just concluded World Tourism Day by the Lagos State government, they threw in support. Is this relationship, sustainable? Would you say sustainable? And how does the government?
Well, I know some people will say in the industry that we can do it without the government, or they will say let's just continue doing what we do, even if the government is not being involved. But I always say, yeah, you might be taking 10 years to do it. And for tourism sector, we always say that government is one of the backbone. And things like infrastructures like road is something important,
right?
Because this destination must be easily accessible,
right?
Infrastructures like security. Apart from security, there's something I'm even thinking of. Apart from security, well, those to make tourism more easier. For people. We already sent a letter to the Lagos State government, and glory to God, we are getting some positive feedback from them, which that alone is something that makes me happy, because when the government are seeing stuff like this and they are ready to support and collaborate.
In
addition to answering your question, right, one aspect that we don't pay enough attention to when it comes to tourism is the aspect of policy. There are a lot of government build the roads, governments let's be able to get to certain places, but there are policies that need to come on board to back up our operations as tour operators, because even if all of the infrastructure
will not
frustrate
the operators,
it helps us a lot more comfortable with coming up with innovative ideas.
Okay, let me just make a little bit intervention.
Go ahead,
because,
please.
I'm going to take her up, and there was like, we need policies, we need help. Well, you're not saying what help you want. Okay, roads are policies. Roads are actually fall out of policies. Okay, so but as tour operators, there must be certain areas where you need help in terms of intervention in various areas, like what they are doing. And I keep on, I should talk about cross-border. When you do cross-border business, when it comes to tour, it's one business. We used to call 419 business. You know why we call that? Because somebody in Ghana, a tour operator in Ghana, you don't know him or her. You take care, you finishes with your guests, you take them to Côte d'Ivoire,
right?
Okay, and then bring them back to Nigeria. So those things are inherent structures that must be sustainable. So before you start talking about cross-border, you also need to understand the economy.
Right.
Okay, you need to understand the economy. You also understand that trade has changed, for instance, and then there must be a lot of registrations. Things you have to do. So critically, I'm looking forward to that conference. I pray that they are going to address these areas. I say, look, in Nigeria, where can I get a 50-seater bus? Not so expensive. And I'm sure if they consult me, I'll tell them. They ask me.
Absolutely.
It's worthwhile, because the more conferences we have. I remember across Europe, if you open up most of it, you can see over the year, in a month of October, you can see conferences. So it's not enough, but it just depends the kind of quality.
Right. What we are bringing on board conversation. What are you doing differently now? Because Trade Expo seems to be emerging daily these days. So what is this conference bringing on board that is different?
Very differently. We are particular about imparting knowledge this time around. We've attended a couple of our workshops. Our facilitators are globally recognized facilitators. We have the West African Tourism Organization partner. The Lagos State Ministry is endorsed by ATPN, is endorsed by ITPN. So we have a lot of globally recognized facilitators in the workshop. You're taking a test in the workshop. You're getting a certificate. That's one.
And for that workshop for you to be able to get the certificate. And apart from this also, what we are planning to work on is, as my Oga said, now cross-border is something that tour operators in Nigeria that we do. And sincerely, we face a lot of challenges with that. And we also have a panel on this particular conference where we are inviting the immigration officers, we are inviting the police, we are inviting other security agencies in the country. Because I have a lot.
So many challenges to. Okay.
I faced a lot.
All right. Time and date once again quickly.
So it's happening on the 25th of November. 2025 is happening in Necker House, and it starts by 10 a.m.
10 a.m. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much
for your time this
me.
morning. And also the project manager, Rihanat. Really appreciate your time this morning. All right. We'll be back shortly. Stay with us. Still Creative Niger. Creative Nigeria on Mainland 98.3 FM. While we're trying to quickly get our Anchor Insurance representative on board, let's hear from Akintunde Adesina, also known as Chef Shine. Will be giving us on Nigeria soup and swallows. Stay with us.
Good morning. My name is Cʀᴇᴜ, but on this segment, we will be exploring the world of Nigeria cuisine. And when I say Nigeria cuisine, of course, I mean food, of course, indigenous Nigerian food. It's been a while we've had to deal with this. And on this segment, in the couple of weeks to come, we will look into Nigerian swallow and soup. And why did I say that? Our food, particularly Nigeria cuisine, is incredibly rich and diverse, reflecting the country's many ethnic groups and regional variations. At the heart of these culinary traditions are swallows and soup, which are staple, of course, in Nigerian meals. Swallows, we have different types of them, and we'll be looking at pounded yam, we'll be looking at eba, which some people call gari. We'll also look at fufu. We'll be looking at amala. We'll look at tiwo shikafa, that's from the northern region. We'll look at semovita, and we'll look at healthy variations that other people have started eating recently. Swallows are starchy food made into a paste and eaten with soups. They are called swallows, of course, because they are typically shaped into small balls and deep into soup, and you have to swallow and enjoy it. Popular Nigerian swallows, like we have said, include pounded yam, which is made. We have fufu, prepared from fermented cassava also, and of course we have amala, dark brownish swallow. That's very popular on the street, particularly in the southern part, made from yam flour. We have variations from plantain flour, and it can be served. Of course, in the southern part, it is served with ewedu soup, which we call abula, ewedu soup and gbegiri. We have tuwo shinkafa from the north, which is majorly paired with miya kuka or miya taushe. So we'll be talking also about soup, but we don't have time, like we said. Egusi soup is there. Ogbono soup is there, eforiro is there, banga soup is there, okra soup, which some people call okra, and owo soup, a variety of soup that is out there. So what we're going to be looking at in this segment particularly is to deep into the world of Nigeria cuisine, and we'll also be trying to pair and highlight the healthy benefits of some of this food. Some of the challenges we have had in the past is how to actually present Nigeria swallows and soup. Of course, I'm chef, and of course, on this segment, we will look at that together. And in the next couple of weeks, we will also be going on the street, of course, to go to popular areas where we can get some of these things. I will advise you, of course, this is why we're here. We're going to advise you where to go to get particular things. We're going to sample opinions on the street also, what people feel about Nigerian swallows and soup. So it's going to be an interesting nugget, this particular segment. And of course, come with me on this journey as we go. My name is Chef Shine once again. Akintunde Adesina is the name. Please enjoy. I'll be with you soon.
Thank you so much for standing by and keeping it locked to Mela 98.3 FM. Of course, still Creative Niger right here. We'll quickly engage Uncle's Insurance to have just a little chat with them about what they have in stock for us this morning.
Because they mean the world to us. If you desire insurance services built around you, where claims are paid promptly, then come to Anchor Insurance.
You are the best, and this is why we'll always be our anchor.
Anchor Insurance, where insurance truly works.
Creative Niger on Mainland 98.3 by or representing Bumi Bade Adeniji. All right, quickly, we have from Anchor's Insurance with us this morning, Mr. Chima Eke. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You know, right?
Yes. All right. I had to, wear the shoes of Miss Bumi this morning. Don't worry, you have the liberty to find me. You have the liberty.
Of course. Yeah.
All right. Good to have you this morning. Thank you for joining. All right. Okay. Let's just quickly do this. How does the policy, that you have, speaking about, I think, occupiers' liability now, how does this policy, what does it cover, really? Let's start from there.
In that session, I did mention that the policy covers legal liabilities that can arise from. So once you have people coming to a building and you have risk that is attached to the building and you lead to loss of life or property while using that premises portion of the building that can cause damage, maybe staircase or a falling glass, affect, you hit someone or hit the property in the thing, that the property belonging to a visitor or someone else of these occurrences happen, the insurance policy will be called to the compulsory policy, but Lagos state governments have made it one of the compulsory policies for occupants.
The insured determined.
Okay, well, although there is, I don't think there's any minimum sum to be insured under the policy by the operations and possible litigation that may arise thereof. So I decide on choosing a sum insured, a reasonable amount suffice. That's your operations.
All right. Also asking this, how are the claims, how are they reported?
Okay. Once there's any case of liability against the third party, once there's any case that is reported, normally third party, once there's an occupancy of the premises, that's why that's referred to a third party. So once a report is made by the third party and the insured becomes aware to us, the insurer.
Okay. And can the sum insured be increased? Can it be increased?
It can be. It can be. But, because it's always negotiable. And we are here to provide the needed support and advice.
All right.
For our prospects.
Okay. Frank, you don't have any addition before?
I'm just kind of, when we discuss insurance here, I listen attentively because I can see some gaps, I could actually have some of those, if you don't have those backings, properly laid out, properly implemented, and enforced, some of these things actually would not be beneficial. But Anchor actually on their own, of course, been with all this program for almost 3 years.
Yes.
So we will get him.
Good morning, Frank.
Good morning.
I love the show so much. I have to make our time.
Yes, I agree. I will appreciate that. I will just say that, after whatever that is that you need to do, we need to get those teams and review how we can get this thing going. Because when we have organizations stop because the state was asking for insurance papers. Do you understand? I didn't know that, but it's something that everybody needs to know. And like the reforms now in Nigeria that's going on, it's across all sectors. Chima, we keep on getting. Next week we'll take it again further. We thank you for coming. Bubi is not here. You can see more. You like. I know you like ladies' voice, so that's what.
But Chima, AKJ, really appreciate your time this morning. Yeah, maybe
I
when
really appreciate
you come to Lagos, you fulfill your promise of coming to the studio.
I will owe Frank the feedback on the personal note.
Right.
All
right. Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for your time. Really
Bye.
appreciate it.
Bye.
My people, we dey Port Harcourt. Na AfriJet fly Gabon. They carry you go Central Africa. From Port Harcourt, na 4 flights we dey get for fly. Go Libreville, Douala. Fly now. AfriJet fly Gabon. Go make you smile. I swear. Comfort, style, and price way sweet so tey. AfriJet fly Gabon. Now your ticket to meet. For business, meet family. Just book your seat today. AfriJet fly Gabon. Go carry you from Port Harcourt to Central Africa in no time. AfriJet fly Gabon. Na AfriJet fly Gabon. Your journey, your care. Call us now on top 201-279-9003 or 0916-000-8092 to book your flight. Or you fit sharply visit our office for Menji Building, 79 Tombia Extension, New GRA, Port Harcourt. AfriJet fly Gabon. Make we work out together always.
Thank you very much once again for sticking around. Creative Nigeria on Mail and 98.3 FM. And just quickly, Emmanuel Olabode will be taking us through the world of the giant being. That's the elephant. I'm sure that you will find it quite interesting. Stay with us.
Hello, listeners. This is another moment where I'll be taking you through another exciting journey into the world of elephants. I remain your host, Emmanuel Olabode. In the last episode, we talked about 3 types of elephants in existence: the Asian, the savanna, and the forest elephants. But today, we'll be talking about social life of elephants. Elephants are social, and they have a social structure just like we humans. And we need to understand that they are more than just the largest animal on land. They have good memories, they are highly intelligent, and above all, they live as family. So in their world, in the world of elephants, family is not just important. Family is everything, and at the center of that world is the matriarch. That is usually the oldest or the wisest female in the group. So she remembers the ancient migration road, where to find food, where to find water, and how to protect the young from danger. And as a custodian of ancestral knowledge, I experience guides the entire group, the entire herd, on building empathy and support. When one elephant falls behind, the other waits, and when one is hurt, the group rallies around to protect and to comfort. So when there's a baby elephant, the new calf is surrounded and supported by not just the mother, the aunts, sisters, cousins, who take turn to wash, to teach, and to nurture the calf. And this is done as if the entire family, the entire herd is saying, oh, this is our child. Also, there's a shared responsibility built. There's a way they share responsibility to build trust and to strengthen bonds. So it is through play, through guidance, and constant affection that the calf will learn to know what it means to be an elephant, and they learn more than just survivor. They learn unity as well. And if one elephant is dead, in the group, they gather together and grieve their dead. So we see that their lives remind us of something deeply human, that strength is not in the individual alone, but in the collective care we give to one another. What can we learn from elephant family? One, we learn that wisdom is meant to be shared. We also learn that responsibility is not burden, and that leadership begins with listening, and also that love, when extended beyond our immediate cycle, builds a legacy that is far greater than ourselves. So it is on this note I'll be signing off, but the story of the world of elephant continues. Stay tuned on Creative Naija. Until we meet again, bye for now.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel, for that. I mean, it gave us lessons to be learned from the world of the elephant. Family is quite important. For lovers that watch documentaries, animal documentaries, they will see that there are a lot that we can learn from, even the animal kingdom. Just like the lion as well, the mothers, they go, the female lion, they go ahead to look for unlike the narrative that we have been used to, that is the Lion King that does it, not knowing that is the female that does all the work. And here we are able to learn about unity and even wisdom shared. The work is not the burden to the leadership. So it's a collective work, which we can definitely imbibe in our everyday activity as well. Still, hopefully. Creative Naija on Mail and 98.3 FM. Let's quickly join Julie Moss with Movies on Radio. Stay with us.
Good morning and welcome to Movies on Radio on Creative Nigeria on mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Julie Moss and this segment is proudly sponsored by the National. Today, I biggest updates on how cinema is crossing borders and reshaping the way we tell and watch stories. Now let's start from South Africa. South Africa makes a powerful TIFF debut. So that's Toronto International Film Festival. Laundry, set in 1968 apartheid era South Africa. Now, don't expect a history lecture. This film dives deep into the dreams, loves, and struggles of a black family running a laundry in a whites-only neighborhood. The applause stage. Now, a record spotlight on indigenous voices. But still at TIFF, for the first time in the festival's history, 2 shorts and 8 feature films by indigenous Canadian filmmakers were included. That's tempting doors to stories long kept on the margins. Festivals are now saying your story matters, your voice belongs. Okay, so now let's go to Foos. Heist thrills with Foos. From social realism to pure adrenaline, also at TIFF, the Scottish director David Mackenzie dropped Foos, a stylish heist thriller starring Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Theo James, and Sam Worthington. Picture daring stunts, high-stakes tension, and yes, a few explosions to keep you awake. This is the kind of mid-budget film that shows you can deliver blockbuster thrills while still working the festival circuit. Now let's come back to Nollywood and let's talk business. Reports show that Netflix has slowed its Nollywood acquisitions this year. Only one post-theatrical Nollywood title has made it to the platform in 2025. Okay, and that's a major shift from previous years when Netflix was snapping up almost everything in sight. For Nigerian filmmakers, this means fresh strategies are needed, leaning on local streamers, theatrical runs, and even new platforms like Kavaa. So the message is what? Don't put all your eggs into one streaming basket, and that's why we have Kavaa and various other streaming platforms. All right, so African stories getting standing ovations abroad, indigenous voices finally being heard, commercial thrillers finding Festival Spotlight, and Nollywood rethinking its streaming future. The global screen is moving fast, and Nigeria must keep pace, or better yet, lead the race. All right, and that's all I can take today on Movies on Radio by Creative Nigeria on mainland 98.3 FM. And this segment is proudly sponsored by the National Film and Video Censors Board. See you next time. Until another day, please go to the movies. I'm sorry about 2 weeks ago, the National Nigerian Cinema Day got postponed, but I will keep you updated with the new dates for the Nigerian Cinema Day. Now over to you, Bumi and Frank.
I hope we get our date back, Nigeria Cinema Day. Let's just wait. Let's wait on that.
I'm waiting for the cinema day.
Right.
Maybe I'll have a free entry. We're good to have free things.
Really. All right. Without further ado, because of our time, we always have lots of program for you right on Creative Nigeria, but we'll be dropping just one or two. We'll bring them next week because of our time. We'll be able to allow you to enjoy that part. But just now, we'll have Onyeka Ezike take us through the importance of art, which is live.
Good morning, listeners. Good morning, creative arts industry. It's called art therapy. We want to explore the means of therapy using art. Now, Nigerian arts industry has gained a momentum in the economic space of Nigeria, because so many people are now becoming conscious of art. Practically embed artwork in healthcare. The following modes must be adopted. We have to look at art in our psychiatric hospitals. How can we use art to bring in change, to bring in revitalization in the hospital? A research was done recently, and it was proven that art can act as a means of therapy, and it can also reduce stress. Not many know that art is medicinal because of the therapy nature, because when a sick person is exposed to artwork, there is this the hospital not just to invest in art, but also to use art as a medium of therapy.
Wow. Wow. Thank you very much, Onyeka, this morning. I mean, art is life for a reason, so as a means of therapy, and definitely Nigerians we need more of therapy in our country.
Especially now that stress is everywhere.
Right. Thank you very much for that. Same Top Ventures Limited. This is culture, technology, festivals, travels, hospitality, music, movies, brown water economy, insurance news, and sport tourism, supported by Simtop Ventures, luxury boat hire and water transportation logistics services limited, edited by Frank Mike. Just about a year after the famous landmark beach resort in Lagos was pulled, stories making rounds that the iconic resort was pulled down. Umahi, who spoke during an inspection to save the tourism resort and other properties, adding that what was pulled down were attachments and shanties around the landmark structures. He also revealed that a 50-year-old dump site of 10 meters depth on a 2 kilometers length impeded works on the coastal road for about 4 months. Despite abundant natural resources across Africa, about 6 million people in the continent still live like cavemen. Petroleum resources on gas, Ḥpēríkpé, disclosed in South Africa during the sidelines of Africa Energy Week that situation impedes industrialization, education and healthcare, and urged all hands to be on deck to unlock the huge gains of Federal Inland Revenue Service as Nigeria official PEPAL authority. PEPAL is an internationally accepted framework for securing and secure and standardized electronic document exchange used across Europe, Asia, and Australia. With Nigeria's entry in breath, Nigeria Tax Identification Number has been registered globally with the support of the Standard Organization of Nigeria (SON), with which registered the Nigerian Tax Identification Number under ISO/IEC 6523 International Coding System, granting Nigerian business persons and organizations international recognition in cross-border transactions. Preservation of the history, Bureau and Oba Omogbolawan Lawal, the Oniro of Ireland, during our handover to Frank Meke, to just say one or two things about what we have this morning in the news.
No, I don't know why we want us to start. We're going to start the tax ID, internationally recognized now. So if you're doing business here, it's easy for you to transfer money, okay, and it's legit, and of course it's secured, across the country, and that, of course, because it's standard. So if you're doing business now, bring back their profits, and they need to contribute the money, because sometimes the banks,
right,
the banks there find people repatriate the money to Nigeria. So they contribute again. So when they get to our airport here, so with this now, you don't need to go through that process. But again, the missing link there is that it's not just enough to know that this thing happened. You also need to, they need to awareness that these things are there, and of course they don't need to go through, all those kind of shortcuts where they have to. We leave them at the airport or whatever and say, where are you getting this money? Nigeria, everybody is very careful. So that is for that. So it's something that one of the gains of this government, really, and like we continue to say here, except to keep your eyes on the ground. Some of these reforms also need to come out there. People need to know those things are there. But if you do reforms and they are not know about it and know how they can, take benefits and do their business properly. Right. So the next one, more. The archive things, let me just call that. We talk so much about preservation of our arts. And let me just want to say, a few days ago, the president approved for a new DG for Nigerian Tourism Authority. A lot of disquiet in the system, because actually it's like, that place is like the home for tourism and all those things. Again, it calls to question actually government interest, in this sector. You don't just pick people anyway. Yeah, the guy is a colleague of ours, he works with one of the TV stations in Lagos. We don't have issue, whether it's a theater artist or whatever, we don't really about. There are certain things that you need capacity. Right. Okay? There are different forms of capacity. You may have capacity of the funds, you may not have the expertise. You may have the expertise, you don't have the funds. So capacity are laid out in various ways. In fact, infrastructure can even be a capacity issue. So that place actually has been run down over, since October left. I think Russia left 2013, and since then, NTDC that we should know them, the place have struggled. If I go there now, it's like an antiquity. Actually, for me, you need to allow him. In this sector, the agitators are many. It's an agitating sector and all those things. So that's for that. So preservation, of course, the Oniru getting involved. Where can I get food? Where can I get water? And all this. So if the animals can have institutional memory and allow the one that's older to lead, okay? So the younger ones also will learn from her, okay?
And keep the narrative
going. So that's what is missing. In fact, when we do government appointment, you just bring somebody, nothing. So you just work in silos and the thing collapse. So it's another thing entirely. So more, which again we're going to talk about. So,
I think that was the pulling down of the
that actually was very emotional thing. The Bible says that in process of building, even the pillar unto honor can be pulled down. But the minister clarified that landmark actually was wrong, but there's a lot of attachment. He used the word shanties around it. Okay, so if you move out the poor, the rich will suffer. So what happened that attachment be removed? Of course, because like other enabling services that also service the landmark business were affected, and of course there are a lot of bedlam. But their clarification actually helpful to start. So it's very important.
Thank you very much for that. Our time is fast spent. We have to go. Apologies, we couldn't bring MC Amebo and then Adishola Kewi, but don't worry, next week will be a wonderful moment, which is Lift Up Nigeria by Sonny Ade. Yesterday we celebrated 65th anniversary. Yes, independence anniversary.
So we'll continue to say, lift up Nigeria.
Lift up Nigeria in one accord.
Happy
One
birthday, and of course,
yes.
our station is also 4 years anniversary. So all combined, we say, lift up everybody.
Everybody.
Lift up everybody. Lift up
Thank you very, Frank Mickey. Thank you very much.